Live.
Hey guys, it's Tab, Ryan, Mike from Freefly. We're going to talk about Movi XL here in a few minutes, but first I thought I'd show you one of our fun traditions here, which is decorating the holiday tree with parts that have either failed. Come in closer, Ryan. So customers send back Movis and Altas and things that they've just done horrific things to, crashes. I think this tree cost about $70, $80 for the actual tree, but the value of this tree as it stands today, between all the stuff we've destroyed here, is probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in development. Like an extended Alta spacer that we tested to failure. I think we bolted this to a fixture and loaded it to like 160 pounds and see if we can make it fail. I don't know the story behind this, but I think somebody had a very bad day with the Movi. I don't know how. And then there's a lot of projects that maybe we started here but didn't finish. Experimenting with new stuff. There's Movi XL. There's Movi XL roll beam in there. Battery cage from Movi Pro development. We almost didn't make the controller out of carbon fiber. It was almost going to be injection molded plastic, so this was an option that we were exploring for that. Broken parts. This is the quick release, one of the very first quick releases that Bryce started like 3 years ago, and finally we just finished that up. So that's what became the pop and lock. Big beautiful Movi XL machine parts. Alternate motor for the M10 design that we originally were talking about, maybe making. The flipper. This is the flipper cable on Movi Pro. So this is the part that allows it to flip. This guy can go flip either way. You can see how the wiring works. Yeah.
Question, will you be able to mute the mimic roll control? Just controlling the pan and tilt.
Yes, you can. You can right now. So this is, we have two prototypes of Movi XL right now, and we're planning on launching this guy early Q1, so 2017. So this is just, so you come in here, so you can see a comparison, size comparison to Movi Pro. So we've designed this guy at the largest size to be able to take an Alexa 65 and a Prime. If you go to some other camera packages, you can go to, Alexa or Flex 4K and run some of the big cinema zooms. But we can talk through, actually let's talk through this one. This one's a little bit more representative. So all the structures, 50 millimeter carbon tubes. You can come in closer. 50 millimeter carbon tubes, same type of design that will allow pan balance to slide here for pan balance. We'll have a power distribution hub here. Similar gimbal control unit to what you find on Movi Pro. So this, all the user interface and screens will be similar to what everybody's used to on Movi Pro. One thing that's kind of interesting on Movi XL is we've made the motors have a very large diameter hollow shaft, so you can actually run wires through each axis and route them however you need to. So if you have an SDI cable or an HDMI cable, you can run it out from the camera stage and to whatever transmitter you might need to use.
Is there a weight limit on Movi XL?
It's designed to hold up to 50 pounds. And this is kind of a beautiful little innovation that Dave came up with on Movi XL that I love. So there's these axes locks, and so you can go that way and it'll lock the axis, and then we can actually show it on this one. Ryan. So if you go this way, it actually interfaces with those two bumpers and acts as a limit, a range limit. And then if you flip this out this way, you're free to go around in 360 degrees. And then if you flip it the other way, you can actually lock the axes so it can't move. So I thought that was a clever little solution they came up with. But yeah, back to kind of explaining how it works. Each motor drive will be co-located with each motor. The adjustments in the camera cage are very similar to what you're used to on Movi Pro. So there'll be toggle clamps and sliding tubes. The tubes are much bigger. These are 25 mil tubes for the entire camera cage, 50 mil tubes found everywhere else. The roll beam is machined. The wires will be routed internally. But yeah, part of the reason we're bringing this up today is we would really like to. This is a bit of a departure from the portion of the industry that Freefly is most familiar with. So if there are people out there that have specific use cases for a Movi XL that they would like to see, have us be thinking about, it would be great to get feedback as to how you might use this thing. I mean, we've thought up a bunch of ways that we could envision using it, but like I said, like big gimbals and working with bigger cameras, I would say isn't really Freefly's like core competency. So we're super curious to learn from people that are working in that market more frequently. One other thing that's interesting, we had a tree failure.
Have we thought about making dummy batteries for the Movi Pro to be able to use a auxiliary power source to run the whole package all day on a jib or car?
No. If you did that, you'd lose the ability to pan unrestricted. So if you're comfortable with that limitation, you could definitely create, it's not something we've done, but you could buy the Molex part that interfaces with this connector and wire up a DC input for that if you wanted to. I don't know if the limitations for the ways I usually use the Movi would be worthwhile to actually do that, but you could. There's no technical reason you couldn't. It's not something that we've done or that we plan to do in the near term. But back to Movi XL, there's also this huge opening here in case you want to route wires. You can come through this tilt bearing and then go right down the tilt tube. So the hierarchy is very similar to Movi Pro in the design intent. We want this camera system to be very expandable and adaptable, so we've kept with like a very kind of modular tube and machined structure block system where you can easily adapt and modify the gimbal to fit your particular needs. We're also working on a quick release top mount and bigger versions of the pop and lock for mounting accessories easily and quickly here. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at on that.
Is there a weight limit for the Movi XL?
50 pounds. 50 pounds is the max payload for Movi XL. So that's what we're designing to. And the max camera size that we're designing to is Alexa 65. So Alexa 65 will fit in width, and then depending on lenses, you're going to run into a limitation eventually to where it'll depend on where the package balance is, and then making sure that it has the ability to sweep up and down without hitting anything. But I think one of the things that we've done a little bit differently than a lot of the other big gimbal manufacturers is, this is a huge gimbal designed to carry a 50-pound payload, and it's very light. I don't know what this thing's weighing in right now, but it can't be more than like 10, 12 pounds, I don't think. So it's much, much lighter than a lot of the gimbals that are running cameras this size. So I think that's one of the things that we're kind of have a unique insight to because of our aerial background. We're good at building, good at building things as lightweight as they can be. So we're just about to kind of start a heavy period of testing this one, like real life practical testing. So this thing will be mounted, to the kind of the front and back of my truck for the next month or so, I'm guessing. But so far it's performing great. We've been doing some speed testing and creeping up on speeds approaching 100 miles an hour, and it seems like heat dissipation in the motors and the level of current that we need to run through the motors to stabilize at that speed is going to work. So everybody's pretty optimistic right now. Seems like the project's coming together nicely. And then all the same accessories that work with Movi Pro will also work with this. So if you want to use Movi Controller or Mimic or whatever we have out by then, it'll all interface. It's all the same ecosystem.
Can you run a Phantom Flex 4K on the Movi XL as a remote head on a jib?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Flex 4K will fit fine. Yeah, it should work great on the jib. We'll have a vibration isolation system to go fit to. So, yeah, it's cool. Giant movie. Any other questions?
That's it. That's it for some Russian.
What's that?
Do you guys do tours or walkthroughs of your warehouse?
We can do a tour. We shouldn't do it today because it's kind of messy. We can cruise through here for a second. I'll just show you a mini tour. This is the Alta engineering room right here. This is the Meerkat. That was the code name for Movi Pro. So this is the team that I've been leading for about the last year to deliver in Movi Pro. And then right now we're in kind of shipping craziness trying to get Movi Pros out to customers right now. So this is shipping area, and then our R&D workshop is actually blocked right now by the expansive growth of the shipping department. So, and then we just actually it's kind of cool. We just got done building this table as kind of a side project with the engineering team and Garrett. So it turned out nice. Made from just a glulam beam and some steel I-beams.
Is the Movi XL going to be built for flying?
Oh yeah, it's flat for sure. We're talking about designing the same type of landing gear system that Movi Pro has, so it could definitely fly. We won't have an aircraft available at the time of launch to fly this, but there are definitely people out there that are building things that can carry this size of payload. So if you have a use case where you need to carry a Flex 4K or, Alexa 65, whatever you might need, it'll definitely fly. So that's it. Movi XL. She's a beaut. Let's go. Actually, look at some parts. This is always one of the most impressive parts to me. Where are Movi XL parts? All the machine parts? Yeah.
They're down there.
Okay. Oh, they're in the little cart. I don't know where the whole beam is. Yeah, you can see like stator and motors are just huge. So tons of torque. I just love the, coming from like the smaller parts that we designed for Movi Pro, seeing these huge parts for XL. It's pretty fun. We don't usually get to design machine parts in this type of size. So,
is there any water resistance level on the Movi XL?
There is a water resistance level. I wouldn't say that it's waterproof, but we're definitely thinking about how to best waterproof it. There will be some subsystems that need, like if you were going to go out in rain, you might have to bag some things. I would say the waterproofing will be commensurate with the camera. But yeah, for the most part, everything that we can will be enclosed and sealed. It's kind of difficult on gimbals because you need to, when you're running a lot of power through them, you need to dissipate heat. So balancing heat dissipation and waterproofing is always a difficult mix. So we'll definitely do the best we can to make it weather resistant. Yeah. So that's it for me. That's it for me today. Hope everybody has a nice little Christmas holiday break. We're kind of winding down the end of the year here, thinking about 2017, what we're going to do next.